Welcome everyone! In this video, we are going to be diving into some sleeper picks for this season's Halloween Cup. Now, at the time of recording this video, Halloween Cup is set to drop later on today at the typical time that leagues reset. And it's an interesting meta. It has shifted drastically from previous seasons. It has long been one of the more consistent metas, but there are some new faces this season, so I wanted to get the creative juices flowing in terms of team building and identify a few sleeper picks that you may not be thinking of going into this season's Halloween Cup. So without further ado, let's dive right in. All right, guys, first up, we've got none other than good old Toxicroak. Holy smokes, Toxicroak has never been stronger in the Halloween Cup meta with the new additions of Greninja as well as Carbink. Guess who shuts down both of those Pokemon very effectively? Toxicroak, as well as the counters to Carbink like Nidoqueen. Toxicroak can perform very well up against. You just gotta keep it away from those ghost types, but this Pokemon performs very well. As we can see, we've got the twos here. Has a very respectable 52% win rate in the twos. So very strong when shields are up. Let's look at some key wins that we get here with Toxicroak. Of course, we've got Greninja performing well against Mawile. Another sleeper pick, by the way. Mawile can put in some work in this meta. Umbreon, a counter to not really a counter, but just a very strong generalist in general in this meta. Of course, with that extreme bulk, it's going to be performing very well across the board. So a solid victory over Umbreon, which I do anticipate seeing quite a bit of. Carbink, that's the huge one. Massive Carbink victory. It's a little bit closer than I would like to see, but still very dominant for Toxicroak. Of course, resisting that fast move pressure, resisting the rock slide, being able to hit those mud bombs. Toxicroak is Carbink's worst nightmare in this meta. So if you're anticipating seeing a lot of Carbinks, you might want to dust off your Toxicroak and give it a whirl in this meta. Nidoqueen, we're doing very well up against with mud bomb in the twos. So very strong overall. A very narrow loss to Mandibuzz, but that's a very, very narrow loss there, guys. The neutral counters with Stab really add up against Mandibuzz, and if you can hit that Sludge Bomb, you're doing some meaningful damage to a Mandibuzz. Toxapex, it's also a little bit close. The bulk is kind of crazy. Obviously on Toxapex, but you can still put in work under the right circumstances. So very strong in the twos. Let's have a look at the ones here with Toxicroak. Let's see here. Very good in the ones. Holy smokes. We are approaching a 60% win rate at 58.7. It's doing even better once we get a shield down in the Halloween Cup here. Still maintaining the key matchups that we want to see. What are we picking up here? It's not jumping out at me, but obviously we are picking up something here. But yeah, we're doing a lot better in the ones with Toxicroak, and in the zeros, we are still maintaining our consistency all across the board. So Toxicroak performing beautifully, very consistent across all shielding, even shielding scenarios. We're actually doing a little bit better in the zeros than we would be in the twos, slightly better at a 54% win rate. So yeah, we're maintaining all of the same matchups, and if we can offset energies or shields, Toxicroak can absolutely put in work here, guys. So we've got some good pairings with Toxicroak. It's going to be pairing well with a lot of things. This is going to be a workhorse on any team in this Halloween Cup. So I wanted to bring some awareness behind this Pokemon because it's not a Pokemon that we often think about. We don't really generally use it in the open Great League, so it might not be at the forefront of your mind in a Great League meta, or a Great League CP limit meta, I should say. So yes, Toxicroak, it's been out for ages. I'm sure most of us out there have one. I would recommend giving it a shot because it's going to have some very, very strong play in this Halloween Cup meta. So that is Toxicroak. Amazing. You will definitely see me feature it on the channel. And yeah, without further ado, let's have a look at another sleeper pick. All right, guys, we move along into RunarRZ. I'm very high on RunarRZ for this season's Halloween Cup because it has a very unique typing that can address a certain Pokemon that is about as bulky as it gets, and that would be, of course, Carbink. Also handles Nidoqueen, which I do anticipate seeing a lot of because not only does RunarRZ have a ground typing to resist rock-type fast move pressure, but Nidoqueen does as well. But RunarRZ has the ghost typing to handle all of the Nidoqueens that I anticipate seeing as well. So it also has a very respectable stat product at just over 2,000. That's very, very good. Respectable bulk. Not the bulkiest, but I would say slightly above average bulk for this thing. So it has the bulk to compete. Let's look at the twos here. Oh my goodness, a 61% win rate in the twos. That is insane. My goodness. Yeah, RunarRZ. There's a reason why I'm high on it, guys. I do my analysis and research for you guys, and there is a reason why, as we can see here. Very dominant in the two shield scenario here. Beating key Pokemon like Frostlass. What else? We've got Mawile Victory here. Toxapex, that triple resist on Toxapex's fast move pressure, amazing. And we can see why, because if you can shield up those brines, you are putting in constant work on a Pokemon like Toxapex. So very, very dominant in the twos. Let's look at the ones here. Very solid in the ones as well. My goodness, we're still doing really well. We drop off a little bit from 61% to a 54% win rate. That is still really good. I generally look for a 50% win rate or higher to gauge a Pokemon's general effectiveness. So we're there in the ones, dominating Nidoqueen, doing quite well against both the Shadow and non-Shadow. Doing very well against Fortress, which is going to be a top tier meta pick, as well as Charjabug. So we are putting in work against a lot of the key meta. Still shutting down Carbink, never a bad thing, guys. And Toxapex, we were actually picking up in the ones. We were slightly negative in the twos, but we are very, very positive in the ones up against Toxapex. Another very strong counter to Carbink, which we will be seeing a lot of Toxapex and Carbink this season. So getting some key victories there is amazing in the ones. What are we not doing so well against? Of course, the dark types, a lot of the water types. Yeah, so we're losing where we should, but we are addressing a lot of the key meta in the ones as well. Let's look at the zeros. Not the best. We perform least consistently in the zeros, but still right at my watermark for being solid at right at 50%. So we are still doing all right in the zeros. Of course, we are going to be performing best when the shields are up. I really like RunarRZ's moveset, very versatile. It recommends that you go with Sand Tomb, and I would not disagree with that on the lead or perhaps as a closer with a shield advantage. But I think as a safe swap, there are some very strong merits to Rock Tomb because they're going to counter you with a hard counter. So you'll want to be able to hit with something that would be resistant ghost type damage. So, and Rock Tomb doesn't hit as hard as you would like, but the trade-off is that you get a guaranteed chance to lower the attack by one stage. So having that ability on the safe swap, I think, is very tremendous for a Pokemon like RunarRZ. So very strong overall, very versatile Pokemon. An excellent answer to a lot of the things that we are going to be seeing. Hopefully, a lot of you out there are lucky enough to have one, or at least build one or have one built. So that you can be better prepared to tackle this Halloween Cup meta. So that is RunarRZ, very strong. It's got my eye, and you will see it on this channel as well. So without further ado, let's dive into another sleeper pick. All right, my friends, we make our way to yet another sleeper pick, none other than Hisuian Quillfish. So unlike a lot of the newer releases, this Pokemon has been in the wild quite a bit. Niantic seems to really love putting PvP relevant Pokemon into research tasks or raid lock them, to where we don't generally get the best IVs for PvP unless we're able to trade incessantly to get the right IVs. So we lucked out with this one. It's been in the wild quite a bit. But I put this Pokemon in here with an asterisk. It doesn't perform the best in even shields, but as a closer, if you have the right team and strategy, if you can secure a shield advantage for this thing, look out. It will put in the work. But let's look at it in the evens and see what I mean. So we're below 50% in the twos here. That is not blowing anyone away at a 41% win rate, 45, almost 46 in the ones. In the zeros, we are, we're maintaining below 50%. Not the best, but like I said, with the right strategy, if you have the right team and you're able to secure a shield advantage, let's look at it with a shield advantage. Let's look at it 2-1. Let's look at this thing here. Look at that, guys. We are beating 91% of the meta with the right strategy with this thing. So that's why I say with a slight asterisk, with the right strategy. If you are able to secure that shield advantage on the right team, you are absolutely cooking with this thing. Holy smokes, we are beating 90% of the meta with a shield advantage, a 2-1 shield advantage. We're beating just about every single Pokemon in the meta. That's wild. Let's look at the 1-0, and we're still there. So that's why I included Hisui and Quillfish as a closer. That is the only place I would recommend this thing. As a closer with a shield advantage, we are beating everything, just about everything in the meta. So that's why I want to bring some awareness behind this, because I know a lot of us out there are good at implementing strategies where we can get shields down. We've got some team suggestions as well that would help you accomplish that. You want hard-hitting Pokemon that are good at applying intense shield pressure to most of the things, so that when Quillfish is on the field with that shield advantage, you can close strong and absolutely sweep some end games. Very versatile moveset as well, guys. This thing has the tools to compete. We've got Aqua Tail as a nice bait move or fast activating charge move. You're getting there in 5 with Poison Jab, Dark Pulse with Stab, Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb with Stab. So it's got the moveset. Doesn't have the bulk, which is why it doesn't perform well on even shields. I would only recommend this with the right strategy. You've got to have certain Pokemon that are good at applying intense shield pressure, like Greninja, Frostlass, those types of Pokemon that hit hard and can apply shield pressure, get your opponent to shield, securing that shield advantage for Quillfish to sweep. That's the way to go with this Pokemon. So that's why it's here. It beats 90% of the meta up a shield. So yeah, definitely worth looking at and considering. And I will demonstrate that on this channel with Hisui and Quillfish. So yeah, I think a lot of us were lucky enough to get one of these out in the wild with the right IVs. So and it's been around for a little while. So yeah, this thing as a closer up a shield, forget about it. It's going to be next to unstoppable and absolutely going to be putting in a lot of work. So that about wraps it up. I don't want this to draw on too long. Of course, there are some more honorable mentions like Galarian, Weezing, Mawile, and definitely if you want to know a little bit more, here's some more sleeper picks or strategies. Definitely join the Discord. Link in the description. It is absolutely free to join. An excellent community that I am very proud of. Hop on. The link's in the description, and you can reach me anytime on my Discord if you ever have any questions or want to work on strategizing or team building or just to have a fun time. We always have a fun time on the Discord server. So yeah, link in the description for that. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching and keep up the grind. Thank you guys.